Hey y'all, it's your girl Hathor Akhenaten, aka the Voodoo Diva, and today we are talking about the largest and most complex nation in the Voodoo family, the Baon, the Brave, the Ghede. Let's go. When we talk about origins, one must know that Haitian Voodoo is nothing but a library of traditions streaming from Africa all the way into the Americas, okay? Haitian Voodoo is a carbon copy of ancient Kemet, Egypt. Case in point, Met is none other than Ausar, Osiris, which is the god of the underworld, accompanied by his consort Nepthys, which is the goddess of the dead, also known as none other than Maman Brigitte, mother of the dead. In Voodoo, there's an actual celebration, okay, which is called La. Sound familiar? In ancient Kemet, we know that being the sun god or the concept of God altogether, okay? So with La, it's the same thing. In sun time, with the La, that's when the dance goes out. That's when it's celebrated. There's your similarity right there. Let's take Anubis, for example. You will always see him preparing, okay, the souls for a safe afterlife, okay? Same thing with Baon in Haitian Voodoo. Baon meaning Baron of the Cross, okay, prepares the two worlds, okay, of a physical and non-physical to be able to go into zombification, okay? You have Anubis with mummification, Baon zombification. Do you see how two worlds collide? So let's talk about the Ghede. The Ghede are a foster home for souls throughout the civilization of all of the world, okay, where they would be called the society rejects, souls that didn't get a chance to express themselves, okay. Papa Ghede is what we call the first human dead accepted into the world of the Ghede clan. Hence the word Papa representing him being the oldest, okay. The Ghede are souls that were accepted by the Baon to become Roi, okay? Very, very important. Which brings us into a great example being X-Men, okay? X-Men with Professor X, what did he do? He provided a home for the mutants, which were society's rejects, or what we call misunderstood, okay? Now, moving into that, the Ghede clan is a very, very big one, hence the reason of them being all over the world. We start off by having, I'm going to mention just a few names, okay, Ghede Marasa, being more like a twinning energy. You have Ghede Nibo, which is known as an androgynous energy, not really feminine nor masculine, if you will. You have Ghede Linto, okay, which is like the leprechaun energy. You have Ghede Zekle, which in X-Men is like storm. Okay, you have Ghede Timalis and Ghede Buki, which would be like the Tom and Jerry kind of function. You have some real funny ones I'm about to get into. One is called Ghede Zozo Le Crec Tonnerre de la Croix. Okay, and that basically means a big penis into a vagina, okay, of the cross. But the whole energy that I want to express with that is in ancient Kemet, if you take a look, it was always represented with the phallus. Okay, when these guys come in, they are a very masculine type of roi. So you'll see them a lot of times gyrating themselves and moving and dancing and, you know, just making it seem that sexuality is really nothing, okay? We take it for so much, but when they're in that other world, they don't really see it as anything. It's a form of expression. Let's take a look at the Book of the Dead. The Book of the Dead is the Egyptian book of spirituality. As you can see, the Book of the Dead is what we're talking about. None other than the Baon, the Ghede, the Braves, okay? All of that is streaming from the world of the dead, okay? The graphing of all world religion comes from this particular book, okay? And also, again, all of that energy transmigrating over into Voodoo. Okay, so it's all forms of different spirituality. Now, moving forward, when we talk about the barons, okay, we have several different ones, although Baon is one great big bracket, okay. Met Baon, like I said before, is what? Osiris. Then you have Baon Cemetery, which would be Sobek. You have Baon Lacroix, which would be Anubis. And then you have Baon Criminel, which would be Seth. Okay, now when we move forward, Maman Brigitte. Oh, the great Grande Brigitte. She is, of course, what everybody else gives value to in terms of the world, in terms of things, she is the complete opposite of, all right? She's feminine, of course, so she exuberates the sexuality, you know, the life of the party, that kind of energy, but she is fearless, she's boundless. She provides us to know that what most people care of, you know, is not such a taboo thing as society tries to make it, okay? But rest assured, she's a mother nonetheless. Okay, she is a massive healer. No kind of sicknesses when she comes into ceremony can be in her presence. Okay, a massive healer, very good with the herbs, etc., etc. Now, moving forward, we go into the braves. Now, the braves are what we would call like levels to the Ghede. Okay, they're what we would call like a they have ranks. All right. Now, for example, some of them would be brave Ghede Nibo. You have brave Ghede Egypt, and you have brave Bramandi, brave Ghede Bramandi. Okay, these are just a couple of different ones. But in the brave Ghede Egypt, what is that? That's Egypt. Okay, so it's still to show you the comparison of how nothing really ever changed. Okay, different names goes into different places, but the energy stays constant. Now, let's get into the Ghedes, of course. Now, the Ghedes are what we would call, they are life of the parties too. They love to drink, they love to smoke, they love to have a good time, all right? A lot of times they would call them the party crashers, if you will, okay? And of course, Papa Ghede, being the oldest, like we said, one of the first human forms accepted by the Bawa, his type of energy, I'm about to break down to you. Very simple, you'll see it in plain sight. Pimp style. All right, about to break down the pimp energy to you. Usually, with Papa Ghede, you'd see him in a brimmed hat. Okay, he'd be coming with a cape, usually a cane, and then also bragging and being confident about how he's a handsome, you know, handsome man, a handsome kind of presence. So, baby powder giving you that whole whiting of the face. Listen, Papa Ghede is the man with the plan, all right? His energy just exuberates very, very, very much the masculine type of energy when a masculine man is confident in his, you know, in his swag and his demeanor, okay? Always showing you how they chicks, they hoes, you know, that pimp hoe kind of function. That's exactly the best way that I could give you Papa Ghede and his energy. But nonetheless, still a very massive healer, of course, deals with all the affairs and helps out within the affairs of the dead. Okay, so just to give you a backtrack on how all of them have their own characteristics, but again are all in one bracket, in one family, so to speak.
My world now, not your world. And I got friends on the other side.
So when we talk about pop culture, in Haitian voodoo, he likes to be called Met Baon, known as Met Baon. Whereas in New Orleans, via the U.S., he's known as Baon Samedi. Okay? When we talk about the energy, that is the patron roi of Hollywood and also one of the most celebrated in pop culture. Okay? When we go into the Ghede clan are entertainers, okay? You will see them throughout everything from movies to music and even politics, okay? Going into one of the most celebrated villains, okay, in the movie world, that would be Joker, which is Baron Criminel, okay? Now, in ancient Kemet, when we're talking about priesthood, if you are not of the bloodline, there are certain things in certain places you cannot cross. And also even in Haiti with the voodoo, things, mumbo, hooligans, there has to be a certain bloodline inheritance to be able to deal with those energies. Okay? Case in point, Jack Nicholson, who dodged a bullet, when we're talking about that Joker role, he warned Heath Ledger not to play that role for the very fact that, once again, if you're not bloodline inheritance, certain places you don't cross because it will drain out your life force, okay? And since they were not of that, that's exactly what happened to him, okay? Now, when we go into the representation of Joker and that energy altogether, you can even take a case in point with the Suicide Squad. Okay, Suicide Squad, you had Jared Leto who played that role. But if you notice, they kept that role very short, and lots of people were pissed and were all reviewing about it. But see, those that be in those studios and these directors, they understand the occult realm very, very well. And they had to keep them short because they did not want another casualty on their hands. Okay, so again, these things are very important. That is the world of the dead. Okay, if you mess with it and you don't belong here, okay, your energy will be that of the dead. Okay, so very, very important. Case in point, even with Nicolas Cage, with the Ghost Rider movie. Okay, that Ghost Rider movie, it was what you would say the perfect thing of Rider explains or symbolizes possession. Okay, where did he get his skill and his abilities? He got them in the cemetery. That would be Baron Cimetière. Alright, so very powerful energy and alignment here. And of course, the head being with the skull, that represented none other than the Met Baron energy. Okay, even in Suicide Squad, a great example of Maman Brigitte would be the Harley Quinn character. Okay, so then now you're just beginning to see how all of them manifest within that. Okay, moving right along, let's talk about the zombie phenomenon within pop culture. The first zombie movie ever made from the US was a movie called White Zombie, which was made in 1932 in none other than where? In Haiti. Just to show you how powerful and how long they've known this energy is powerful. Now, moving right along from that, you have in different kinds of movies, all the way from Princess and the Frog, you have James Bond 007, you have The Sugar Hill, all that showing the Baron energy, okay? Because again, it's vast. Now, even with Michael Jackson in Thriller, we want to talk about the zombies, the whole video was talking about that, was expressing that energy. It was so powerful that Michael Jackson had to come out with a viewer discretion advised kind of thing to say, oh no, this is not the occult, and kind of give a forewarning because they understand how powerful that energy is. It will consume you if you don't, be very cautious about it. Again, bloodline. Anyhow, moving right along, we even look at the holidays, okay? This is one of the most celebrated holidays in the whole entire, everywhere, okay? In Mexico, you have, it's Dia de los Muertos, okay, which is celebrated in that November span between the 1st and the 3rd. In Haiti, you have Fête Ghede, which is November 2nd, but it's also celebrated from the 1st to the 3rd, okay? You also even have Halloween. Halloween is when? October 31st. So 31st, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. All locked off for this Baron Samedi, Ghede, energy. To go even further with the representation within our generation, you could look at these shows nowadays. Walking Dead being one of the biggest series right now on AMC. That's that whole zombie life. Okay, you have Grimm, you have what's this one? That Z Nation, a new particular TV show on Sci-Fi. The list can go on and on. Ed Hardy, when you talk about fashion with the skulls and everything. Literally, we could be here all day, but the representation is everywhere because it's so celebrated. Even into this anime world, okay? Let's take a look at one of the biggest animes in our generation. That'd be Naruto, okay? In Naruto, when they are doing their magic, they call it jujitsu. They call it jitsu. And with the whole jitsu thing, you listen to the sound. Jitsu, voodoo, same sound frequency. Okay, so that's crazy enough in itself. It goes deeper. When they go through a training within that show or the anime, they show you that it's called Guinea. Okay, and when we talk about the world of the La in Haiti, we call it the Guinée. So Guinea, Guinée. It's the same. I mean, direct. It doesn't get any more direct than that.
When you go further into the anime with Naruto, okay, let's take a look at the jutsu. Jutsu means magic, okay? They had a forbidden jutsu which dealt directly with bringing back the dead to life, okay? That gives you the whole zombification aspect. Moving right along into the politics, okay? We know that it's so heavily everything in America. And with this energy, the secret society Skull and Bones deal with the grave digging, okay? Grave digging, which is the digging up the bones and using them for rituals, okay? You can even take a look at the 13 bloodlines that rule, our world, America, everywhere, really. They deal with a certain clothing that they wear during secret meetings that have the skull, okay? And that would have bones in it. Now, moving right along into our present-day politics, our President of the United States, Donald Trump, okay? Donald Trump, Trump card, Joker card, okay? Let's take a look at the month that they get elected. November is none other than what month that celebrates it? The Bible, the love, the Ghede. Okay, it's the same energy. Now let's take a look at his personality. We all know he loves to make fun of people, and he has the energy that is cocky, that is confident, he's wealthy, and then most of all, the foul language. The foul language is the same thing that the Ghede is when they come into, whatever they're doing, they'll talk shit, they'll make fun of you. Listen, it's the same energy. Okay, now let's take a look at his wife. All right, his wife deals with the eroticism and whatnot. Okay, all right. So his whole slogan, if you will, to even go a step further, deals with grabbing her by the pussy. And honestly speaking, that whole foul language and that whole play deals directly with the bottom energy. Okay, so it never stops. The whole Joker thing, he is the Joker if there ever was one to be. Alright, now real quick, his wife, again, she deals with the eroticism. She's like more of that sexual figure and everything. That's Maman Brigitte. Okay, you have his son, which his name is Baron Trump. Okay, Maman Samedi, same spelling. Like, coincidence? I think not. Now check their family. They'd be the largest family to ever get into the White House. Okay, but guess what? They reportedly don't want to live in the White House. They don't want to conform to what everyone else was doing. They want to live in their own world, do their own thing, do that whole, rock star lifestyle. All right, and so it just to show you that his energy is completely, that whole scene is nothing but really and truly that Bible Joker type of energy. Okay, and it's just interesting because we as humans can only do one thing. We have to recognize what it is, the role is, and then know what position we're taking and play in that role. Alright? When the spiritual world and the stars align and they have an agenda, all we can do is, again, suit up, boot up, play along. We live in two worlds. Okay? You have the spiritual, you have the physical. Which one are you going to give more?
When it comes to the whole supernatural within movies in Hollywood, one needs to know that the whole zombie phenomenon is coming directly from Haitian Voodoo tradition. Okay, let's take a look at when the Illuminati do the whole eye. Okay, when that's covered, aside from the origins of coming from Heru, third eye, pineal gland, truly what they're trying to show you is representation of Samedi, the Blaz, and the Ghede. Okay, when they come into wardrobe or come through in a ceremony, they usually always have the glasses and one eye will be covered. Okay, so that's where it's all coming from. Meaning, with the left eye, or that eye that's covered, that is the spiritual world, and the one without is the physical. What does that mean to us? That our science is always right in front of us, but we were never, ever aware of it. Okay? So now, moving right along, dealing now with my experiences. I love them. Samedi, Ghede, the Braves, they are like, old school friends having a good time, jokers, you know, joyful, enthusiastic. It's like no filters, you know what I mean? These Lua, they help out with self-esteem. They help out with confidence, okay? They help you grow in those type of areas where you can be not so conformed to society. Now, there are definitely other sides to everything. I want to share something with you guys, something very personal. As you can see, I am dressed differently altogether from how I was before in the earlier parts of the videos. But during my recording of this particular work, what ended up happening was there was a fire in my building due to electrical issues. Now, this just goes to show you that low demonic frequencies feed off of elf energy. And elf is basically electric low frequencies. Okay, so they definitely was lurking around the area. What does that mean? Well, basically when you're doing the work of the divine, if you're not tested, if you're not attacked, know that you ain't doing something right. This is where we come in, and I always say that voodoo is for the elite. This is where we separate the real from the fake. Okay, so I just wanted you guys all to know that I sacrificed, and the thing that stayed the most important was this, y'all. Everything else burned. All my other equipment for this particular video was a done deal. But my hard drive, the hard drive for this video to give this information is here. And that's the reason why I can still be presenting this to you guys. Okay, the spiritual essence readings are doing amazing. Get with me and let me know when you guys want to set things up, because we need to know if this clan with the Bao, the Brang, and the Ghede could be the society or deals with your spiritual essence. Also, to donate to the particular movement we have going, to continue videos and even featured films that are coming up via Shinkan Studios, please go ahead and use the link that will be below this particular video. Okay, we got many more to come. I want to always be talking to you guys. I want to always be giving you what the Voodoo Diva does best, which is come with the real and come with the knowledge. I love all of you so much, and I thank you for supporting me and the continued growth that we're going to have together in 2017. Honnête avec respect is what it is always. Okay, shout out to Haitian Independence Day as well. All of the ancestors, all those that fought. This is why we do what we do. One love from the Voodoo Diva, aka Hathaway Kanani. Peace out.